Hello, how are you? So stupid, but hello, beautiful people. How are you? Beautiful. Honestly, these things smack. They're so good, the naked drinks. As you can tell from the title of today's video, we are going over my May reads. So I was actually really surprised by how many books I read in May. But I started reading like 1 week and then 2 a week. So I have 6 books. I really love, they're like all white and then this one is like black, but they're all like this cute, aesthetic going on. So we'll start with the one on the top. Emotional intelligence and it's Emotional Intelligence, Influence, and Persuasion. This book was really good. Well, I gave it 3 stars just because I feel like this is a book more for someone who is a manager or owns their own business and has people under them and they're in a position of like business authority where people kind of have to listen to them, opposed to influence and persuasion among your peers, if that makes any sense. So it's like influence and persuasion from like top down versus like horizontally. So that was my one thing. It was a good book. It was a little quick read, and yeah. Next book I have is That Doesn't Just Happen by Mike Kai. And I gave this book 3 stars. Oh, I was brutal with this book. I gave it 2 stars. It was a book on like doing things in excellence and living in excellence. I gave it 2 stars just because I feel like this book in particular is for someone who is looking to become more excellent in their life, or someone who isn't necessarily living in excellence, and they want to learn how to live in excellence. I feel like that is more what this book is about, opposed to someone who is already living in excellence and already living their life with intention. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite book in the world, to be honest. Next, I have Garden City by John Mark Comer. I love any book by John Mark Comer. He is my absolute favorite author. I read 2 of his books this month, and this book was really on just being human and how God created humans and how it's literally on the thing. It's called Work, Rest, and the Art of Being Human. And it literally is about that. And one of my favorite quotes in here, it's not really a quote, but something that's super memorable is, you know the saying, the phrase, Jack of all trades, master of none? I guess, apparently, that is a misquote by either Thomas Jefferson. I think it's Thomas Jefferson. A misquote from him. And it actually originally says, Jack of all trades, master of one, and how we are, as humans, were created to do many things, many facets of things, but we are masters of one, that we have a specialty of one thing. Like we're really passionate about many things, but we are particularly amazing at like one thing. And that literally kind of sums up the entire book, but it was so good. Next, Loveology. Great book. The thing I noticed about reading a lot of books super quickly, or even more like theological self-help books, I feel like I don't necessarily, when someone asks me, oh, what'd you get from the book? I feel like I don't really know, because when like there's a good something like a nugget, I kind of just hold on to it and like take it as my own and it becomes like me. But like when I have conversations with people, I'll like remember those things and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, in this book I was reading XYZ. But this book, amazing. It is about God, love, marriage, and sex, and the never-ending story of male and female. And this book was really good. Something that I really remember from it, I gave it 5 stars. By the way, these 2 books, 5 stars. In relationships, you want there to be substance in a relationship, and when you get married, you want your marriage to be on a mission. You want to be chasing after a goal, because your emotions and your feelings, being in love and everything, after a couple years, that kind of slows down, and you're really left to hold on to this marriage and make the most of it. And if you are going in marriage for just happiness, then your marriage is going to fall apart. But really going after something as a couple is very so important. And so I really, really love that. I'm not married. I have a boyfriend, but I'm not married, and this book was amazing. Next, oh my gosh, this book, Single, Dating, Engaged, Married. This was a beautiful book. It's by Ben Stewart. I gave this book 4 stars. It was a super practical book on the seasons of singleness, the season of dating, the season of engagement, and the season of marriage, and how each season is so specifically designed by God, and there's purpose and a plan for each season. And I think it's really good. Anyone, I think if you're single, if you're dating someone, if you're engaged, or if you're married, you could get something from this book. And he also talks about how marriage as a pursuit of something higher than your marriage itself. But it was so good. I literally was crying in that chapter because it was just so beautiful about how marriage was created so special for a mission, yeah, so good. Okay, don't you just love my plants? They are so beautiful. If I can close this. It talks about how before you're married, you're either one with someone or they're your brother and sister in Christ, and how you should be treating your brother and sister in Christ as you would your actual brother or sister, and don't do anything with them before marriage that you wouldn't do with your sibling, which is such a weird picture, but it brings such a point across, and amazing. That book was great. Okay, well look, this is how, I'm trying to figure out how, but if you can see, I kind of just marked it up. Yeah, so good. Next, Atomic Habits. Actually, where did I see this? I think Haley Pam, she's a YouTuber. I think that made me buy this book. I'm not sure if it was that or something else, but this book was so good. It was super practical. I didn't give it a sticky note. I give it 4 stars. It was super practical about how you can make your life better and more productive, and how creating habits isn't something that locks you in. It's actually something that frees your life up, because when you create habits, you don't have to think about working out, eating healthy, and all these things. It kind of just comes out of a habit that you made. And so that was really nice. And it talked about if you want to break a habit, make it harder, and if you want to make a habit, make it easier. So say you want to stop watching TV, plug the TV out of the wall. So then every time you want to watch TV, you have to think about it and actually have to go and plug the TV into the wall. And then he was saying you could even take the batteries out of your remote, put your TV in the closet so you have to pull it out when you want to watch it, and just all these things to make it harder. And then to make habits easier. And I actually did this before I read the book. I would sleep in my workout wear. So then when I woke up the next morning, I had no excuse to be I don't want to get another pair of clothes dirty, or I don't want to change it. You're already in your workout wear. And now I'm just Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my May book reads and my little blurbs and thoughts on them. There are, oh gosh, quite a few. But honestly, I would encourage you, if you want to be reading more, check your screen time on Instagram and match that in reading. Or if you want to be on your phone or watch a movie, read something instead. It doesn't have to be nonfiction. Read some fiction and like let your brain. It's like watching a movie. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my May reading book things I went through. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful day. See you later.